So welcome back, everyone. My next guest has also been on with me several times. I have with me Chris Hart, and he's the owner of Heart2Heart Care. Welcome to my show and welcome back here. I want you to tell everybody, first of all, a little bit about the company, right? But then I really want to dive into what really makes Heart2Heart Care different than the big dogs that are out there.
Okay. Well, thank you, Carol, for having us on your show again.
Thank you.
So, Heart2Heart Care, we are an in-home care company where we bring our services to you in your home and provide you the care that you need and at the level that you expect to receive from any company. So, Heart2Heart Care, that's what we do, in-home care service.
So there's people that do this, and there's bigger people and smaller people, but I want to know what makes you different.
So at Heart2Heart Care, we definitely are different than anybody else out there. What we do, I challenge anyone else out there to do what we can do for the price that we do it for. So I tell clients that call me, or potential clients, to do their homework. Ask these other companies, whether it's a small company or a big company, what are they getting for the bang for their buck? And then come back to me. So, like the level of care that you're gonna get. So, if you want 12 hours worth of care and you're at a big facility, how much care is your mom or dad or your husband or your wife gonna receive? And generally, it's about 90 minutes that they receive.
Wow.
Doesn't really matter what day of the week, doesn't matter whether it's Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving. They get 30 minutes for breakfast, 30 minutes for lunch, 30 minutes for dinner. If you want more care for that, you pay for it. It's a la carte. At Heart2Heart Care, it's not how we work. Once we give you a price, it is what it is. And we stand behind what we do, and we're family. And we
Now,
treat our clients like family.
Because I wrote down, before you came here today, we were writing down some of these things. And one of the things that we talked a little bit about is this tagline that I came up for you, which is, with Heart2Heart Care, you get care from the heart.
Yeah, I love that.
I do
that.
too,
Thank
I
you.
love it too, and I'm gonna say this, but this is really true, because you even have one of your clients that's sitting here with you that is a true success story. But I think when I hear about you is that you take your clients on as family.
Yeah, that's correct.
I mean, this is really as family. They become your friends, and you go over and above what anybody else would do, and you work with the people's pocketbooks.
That's right, yeah. And Heart2Heart Care, we work with everybody's budget. We don't turn anyone away. But back to what I would challenge anyone is to do your homework. Call these companies, visit their facilities, look at their staff, and ask them, what are you going to give for your bang on your buck, or what's my return on my investment? And all of them have the same pitch. If you schedule a visit with them, of course, they put on their best show. You know, they set up the time and the place where you come in, you visit. Everything's nice and clean, everything smells great, they got the great staff, and they take you where they want you to go.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so you're not gonna know really what you get until you're already into it with them.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Heart2Heart, you get what you see.
Yeah.
We stand behind the service that we promote. Like I said, all our clients are like family. We take them to the gym. If they want to go to the gym, we have memberships at Planet Fitness, and all our clients can go. Rick, that you're talking about, he goes 6 days a week, and we have 2 other clients that we take 3 days a week. But we don't turn anybody down or away.
But you know how you helped Rick, which was so cool. I saw the pictures, you just sent them to me, and I'm gonna try and put them up onto Facebook along with this segment, is that Rick was a big boy,
He was a big boy.
right? And he lost how much?
Well, Rick lost he's probably at 100 pounds, if not more. He just had a checkup. his annual checkup, and he's down to 180 pounds.
From
now.
somebody who was probably being very sedentary because he was probably very depressed and just sat kind of home and whatever, I'm making it up, I don't really know. But you took him to the gym, you guys got him out, you made him feel good about himself again.
Yeah.
And then
Well, Carol, Rick is like a lot of our clients, a lot of our senior citizens. Rick lives in the state by himself. He has family that care and love him. However, they live in other states. So when Heart to Heart Care got the call, they set up 20 hours a week, and that grew where Rick was with us, then went to 8 hours, then went to 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. And then, Rick is like one of our other clients, or quite a few clients, he's in 24-hour care. But yeah, Rick is a success story. He was dedicated to losing weight and his health. He knew he needed, if he wanted to stay alive, he needed to get outdoors. He needed to start exercising. Rick couldn't walk from his lazy boy to the restroom without having to lean up against the wall.
Right, but I think what you do is, I think what more than anything, you should give him a life, right? And a lot of times you say that a lot of your clients, they are living alone, right?
Right.
And they need help. There's no doubt that they need the help that you can get them. And the other thing that you do, and I must bring this up, is that you have your dogs that you bring.
Oh, yeah, we, our therapy dogs, we got Bonnie and Clyde. We have Coco Chanel, and we have Salvatore Fergamano. I can't.
Ferragamo.
Yeah, there you go. My wife can. It's Persis, so she named them, and they're great.
But can you imagine what it must have been like when here? I know that one of your dogs is like best pals with Rick. And this is something that I don't think any other company does. I really don't know, but I would think none of them. And you bring them in, and what does that do to your clients?
Yeah, so we have several clients that request the dogs occasionally, but Rick gets to see them every day because Rick is really, we're connected at the hip. But I wake up every morning looking forward to see all our clients, but of course Rick, because Rick is dedicated to the gym. He goes 6 days a week with me.
Wow.
And he's riding 12 miles on the bike. He is doing treadmill, and he does other exercises. Plus, he's also a very sociable individual. So everybody in the gym knows him and loves him. But the dogs, when they come to a client's house, they love it, and they all have different personalities. Like Coco is a lover, and she will get up on the couch with you or lay on the floor with you and just snuggle. And she'll give you kisses all day long if you want them.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, and Bonnie and Sal too, they're snugglers. Clyde is, we call him the big boy. He's the guard dog. So he's very protective, whoever he's with. So
I'll tell you something, if you're looking for in-home care and you want somebody that's gonna really treat you right, not only that, they work with you on your budget, that's also something that they do. He says that he'd like you to just check out the other people, do your homework, and you're gonna find out what you're gonna like best, and you're gonna give them a call at the number to call is 602-815-4357. He's rated with the Better Business Bureau. They're valley-wide. The website is HART, H-A-R-T, the number 2, HART again, H-A-R-T, care.com. And you do all sorts of work. You love the vets. We're going to talk a little bit about that when we come back.
Vets,
yes, and thank you for your service as well, and for all that you do to help them too as well, to get them comfortable even without working with you.
Yeah.
Because you're all about resources for them as well. Before we go to a break, what do you want to say? What's your final words for the moment?
Well, for my fellow brothers and sisters out there, our military vets, give us a call. As you said, we have a lot of resources out there. We work with different organizations and companies that donate wheelchairs, motorized wheelchairs.
Anything you need.
Anything you need, just give us a call and we'll help you out. It doesn't cost you a thing.
602-815-4357. Hang tight, we'll be back in just a minute.
Awesome.
Okay.
Very good, Carol,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
So we're
Forget
still
it.
on Facebook?
Yeah, we
Hey,
are.
everybody.
You can say hi to everybody out there. Okay. So, but you do everything. So somebody comes in and maybe they just need a little light, help, just a little light help. They don't need to have 24-hour care with you, right? Do you have a minimum? Tell me a little bit about that.
So we like to try to get 20 hours a week. That gives us enough time to really prepare your meals for you. If you need breakfast and lunch, 5 hours, 5 days a week is not enough. It's really not. And family realize that once they get started. However, we have clients that, we have clients at 10 hours. We'll work with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, we have clients that are trying to explore other options for care, like going into a facility versus being in their own home. There's fights within families, right? People want their inheritance now. They don't want to wait for mom and dad to pass, so they're looking to put them in a home, and they're realizing, excuse me, I got an itch in my hip. Don't you hate that when you got an itch, you just can't get to it? But they're quickly finding out that when I tell my clients to do their homework, I got another itch. If you have an outburst, or if you get violent, which with a lot of these diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia, depending on how you're being treated is how you respond, right? My dad, we talk about my dad. I love my dad to death. So when I came home from Afghanistan, he was, the reason why we really started the company and pushing forward. Golly, excuse me. Sorry, Facebook fans out there.
It's okay.
So I put my dad in a facility, and they were rated best company for that year. And quickly my dad declined. So I got him out as quickly as we could at the time. And my mom and dad, of course, were happy. But we didn't receive the level of care when they was in there, what we were promised. That's where that 90 minutes came up, right? So when you start pressing them, like, okay, how come there's no cameras here? How come I can't see the checklist of when you gave my mom or my dad his medication? And oh, by the way, if he spits his meds out, what do? Right? Well, they tell us nothing. They don't want to take them. We don't make them take it. So there's so much and so many questions that you really need to ask and press them hard.
We're going to talk about that right now.
Okay?
So welcome back. At the break we start talking and we get deeper and deeper into some of these different subjects that we talk about here on Networking Arizona. And right now you were talking a little bit about your dad and how this whole thing started with the fact that your dad, you said that you put him into a home that you thought was like a very good home.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Well, so, our family got together, me and my sister, my brother, my aunt and uncles, and of course my mom. And we went around all of Scottsdale and the valley looking for a place for my dad, because we were bringing him from Northern California here because they could no longer stay by themselves. And so we did our homework, at least what I thought was our homework, and we were seeing all the different price range, big dollars. And my parents, like most families, did not prepare for this phase in life.
Mm-hmm.
They had money, they had assets, but they didn't prepare. And how long is that money gonna last, right? So as fast as I got my dad in the house, or the home, excuse me, the facility, we were trying to get him out. My mother was begging us to please get us out of here. Your father's being abused.
Oh my gosh.
And my dad went from doing push-ups and sit-ups, walking, having a conversation. He has Alzheimer's and dementia and Parkinson. He was sick. But he was quickly bedridden. So how'd that happen, right? They said that he fell. He got aggressive with the staff. He was one swing away from being kicked out of the facility, as they were telling me. And I'm like, my dad is a gentleman if you treat him right. If you're not treating him right, well, my dad's gonna tell you. And my dad was trying to tell me when I visited him, hey, you know, they're mean, these people are mean. Well, I saw it firsthand.
Wow.
My dad was wearing the same clothes up to, 36 hours straight. And it seemed like it fell on deaf ears. So when I thought we did our homework, we really did. Once we got my parents out of that situation and we hired staff to take care of them in their home environment, we're like, this is what we need to do. We need to keep our clients in their home environment and really press home, practice what we're preaching. And that's what we do now, to our military vets, to potential clients, to our clients that we have now. I was telling you, we have clients that are looking for a home for their mom and dad right now, and they're asking some hard questions, and they're coming back to us and saying, you're right, it's better for my mom and dad to stay where they're at, and we just increase the care. It's not any cheaper, but I guarantee you, we're no more expensive than putting them in a facility.
The other thing is they do like being at home. They
Sure.
wanna be. Now, obviously, they're gonna say, well, what happens if it's just too dangerous? What do you do? What do you do?
So that's a level of care, right? So depending on what you want, we'll give you what you want. So if they need 12 hours a day and you're gonna be home sleeping, then you don't need care there. You have family members that are there to give them if they need water, if they need to go to the bathroom, they need another blanket, you have that. But in some instances, our clients, they don't have any family right here in the state of Arizona. So they require somebody to be there around the clock, because last thing you want is for them to get out of bed while they're taking a sleeping aid or on other medication.
One of the things that you mentioned that your dad, there's certain questions that you really need to ask, and some of them I would have never thought of, and one of them was when you said, well, what do you do when if my dad spits his medication out? And I was like, oh my God, in my head I thought I would never have thought to ask that, but look at what did they say?
Right.
Well, we let them do whatever they want because they don't make them take them.
Right, so really how we discovered that was we were pressing this particular company, what meds are you giving my dad, right? So when we see him, which I was there every day to see my dad 7 days a week, and I was there a majority of the time. My mom lived in the villa on the same compound, but they have codes to get in and out. But what happened is another client in there spit their meds out, and my mom was like, so are you gonna give her her meds? And the med tech at the time said no. If they spit out their meds or they don't take it, we don't force them to take it, or we won't give it to them again. And my mom was like, why? If it's a memory medication, blood pressure medication, cholesterol, whatever.
There's a reason why the doctor prescribed it.
Absolutely. So we pressed other people on the same question, and we all got the same answer. And it was like amazing. Okay, so they spit out their meds or they don't want to take it. You just don't get it. Do you notify the family members? No. So this entire time, my dad was in there a short period of time. I was never able to see when his bedroom was being cleaned. We were paying extra for my dad to take additional showers, right? Because we didn't want him sitting in a soiled diaper or clothes. So we were paying at this time, it was $250 a whack.
Wow.
For my dad to take a shower. And so we were there the days that he was supposed to take a shower. And it was just conveniently, well, he already took a shower. Really? Well, I just came out of his room. It's awful dry in there, and my dad smells like urine. And I'm not trying to be graphic, but
No.
those were the things that we were noticing, and my dad was wearing the same clothes. Or he was wearing somebody else's clothes.
Oh, wow.
And so we're like, well, where's my dad's clothes? Well, we got 14 clients in here, and we only have one caregiver. So that was another question we asked. What's the ratio? 1 to 12, 1 to 14, 2 to 12? And you never get a straight answer
You know
from
what's
them.
interesting, what you're talking about is, so like when parents are putting their children in kindergarten, they will ask more questions about like things like that than they will when they put their parent into a home. Which in fact, they actually should be asking more questions because, like you said, there can be elder abuse going on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you do discover that, then you need to call APS.
Well, what you really wanna do is you wanna start with the top, and the cream always rises to the top, and right
Thank
now,
you.
we have Heart-to-Heart Care. They're the ones that are gonna say to you, you know what, we're gonna tell you what we can do your homework, and call us back, because you will want to. That phone number is 602-815-4357. They are valley-wide, they're rated with the Better Business Bureau, and their website is HART, H-A-R-T, the number 2, HART, H-A-R-T, care.com. Go ahead.
Well, Carol, another thing I want to emphasize as well. At Heart2Heart Care, once we link you with one of our caregivers, you have the same caregiver day in and day out.
That's important.
We don't put a warm body just to fill a slot. We match you with the right caregiver to your needs. And we think that's very important. That's another question you need to ask. Am I gonna have the same caregiver every day? And a lot of our clients that have come to us say, you know, they were getting Johnny one day, Sue the next. Then they get Peggy and John Doe. And
It's like starting over every time.
That's right. And what is our senior citizens, people with dementia and Alzheimer's, and no one likes change like that.
Mhm.
When you change their environment or their surroundings, it irritates them, it bothers them, it upsets them. So at Heart2Heart Care, we try to keep your environment the same every day. That's why we press on keeping you in your home. You're familiar with your home, your surroundings, you feel more comfortable.
Now, when do you like log everything and tell them what's going on? Like you said, like let's say one of your clients they spit out their medication. What would be your procedure that you would do?
Yeah, so we have a log, our caregivers, they log, and every one of them notify me when they're on site. During the day, we check in with one another. And at the end of the shift, when they get home or on their way home, they call us and we log it into our notes for that client for that particular day. You know, I'll just use Rick for an example. Rick had a wonderful day. He took all his meds, he went to the gym, he ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so his eating habits have not changed. They haven't decreased, they haven't increased. Sleeping patterns. Did they take a nap during the week or during the shift? Were they anxious? Were they upset? How was their overall mood?
Detailed.
Yeah, very detailed. And our clients, the loved ones can see that at any given day. If we take them shopping, I'll give you an example. So Rick had to go shopping today.
Mm-hmm.
So we notified the family, hey, Rick needs some personal hygiene items. And we got the thumbs up. Rick went shopping today. He paid for his own clothes, deodorant, toothpaste, and he got some socks. That's what I meant by clothes. And then we took a picture of the receipt and sent it to him.
So it's very detailed.
Very detailed.
Well, and also very caring. That is what they're all about. They're here to help, and whether it's you or for someone that you know, try and keep your loved ones in their home as long as possible, please. And that's what you really are trying to do.
We can take
and
it
make
to
sure,
the end of life.
and make sure, first of all, that they're getting the level of care that they deserve. And that's what you're gonna get when you call Heart2Heart Care. Again, that number is 602-815-4357. They do free consultations. They're rated with the Better Business Bureau. Check them out on their website. It's HART, H-A-R-T, the number 2, H-A-R-T again, care.com.
Thank you, Carol.